Hi, this is Mrs. MacPhee, and this is a video for my Common Core 6, my periods 3 and 7. And I'm actually going to show you some help with prime factorization, and then using the prime factorization to find the greatest common factor. So we're actually going to use this to help us with our homework throughout the week. Today we talked about prime factorization of two numbers. And we're going to go ahead and do these two examples. Because both 30 and 72 are composite numbers, and I know that because they're even, which means all even numbers are divisible by 2, it means that I can go ahead and break this into its prime factors. And what's nice about this is you could start with 2 and 15, you could start with the factors 3 and 10, you could start with the factors 6 and 5. And those are the ones that I'm going to start with because I think for most students when they think of 30, those are the factors they think of. And then I'm going to ask myself, is 5 prime? And it is. So I'm going to bubble it in. And when I bubble it in, that means it's a prime number and I'm done with it. What about 6? Is 6 prime? No, it's composite. And I know that because besides 1 times 6, we can also get 6 by multiplying 2 times 3. So for tonight's homework, you want to finish by listing your factors from least to greatest: 2 times 3 times 5. And then if you wanted to go back and double check, 5 times 3 is 15, 15 times 2 is 30. Nice way to make sure your factors are actually correct. If you want to show multiplication using your X symbol instead of the dot, of course that is also fine. And now for 72. Again, where you start, sometimes you're going to have several avenues, and they're all correct as long as you keep breaking them down into their prime factors eventually. So we could do 9 times 8. We could do 36 times 2. A couple of different choices you have here. Again, I'm going to choose to do 9 times 8 because I think for many students that's going to be the factors that you're most familiar with. And then neither of them are prime. Just because a number is odd does not mean that it is prime. 9 is composite because we can use the factors 3 times 3. Now 3 is prime, so I can circle it and I can stop. And then I'm going to look at my 8. 8 is composite because I can get 8 by multiplying 2 times 4. 2 is prime, so I can circle that one, but the 4 is not. I need to break that down some more to 2 times 2. So my factors for 72, this is a longer answer, and we can show it two different ways. We talked about this in class. I'm going to write my factors in order from least to greatest. So 2 times 2 times 2, 2 times 2 times 2, times 3 times 3. That's a great answer. If you wanted to use exponents, we could say 2 to the third power times 3 to the second power. And both versions of the answer are going to be acceptable. All right, where we're going with this later in the week is we're going to find the greatest common factor of any two numbers. And I specifically chose 30 and 72 since we just did all of this work. Your first step would be to find your prime factorization. So we're going to build upon what we do in the beginning of the week as we move throughout the week. So my factors for 30, and I'm going to again list them from least to greatest, are 2 times 3 times 5. And for 72, I'm going to write it out without the exponents because of where we're going with this. I have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. All right, the greatest common factor is the largest number they have in common that each number is also divisible by, greatest common factor. So what we can do to find that is we can actually circle the factors they have in common. They both have a 2. So I'm going to write that down. This has some more 2's, this one doesn't. 30 has a 5, 72 doesn't, but they both have a 3. So I'm going to circle it and write it down, which means my greatest common factor will be 6. Homework this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, will be on prime factorization. Thursday night will be on greatest common factor. So this is really more of a sneak preview of where we're going. Also, you can use it when you do Thursday's homework. The first example, just finding the prime factorization, will help you with Tuesday and Wednesday. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Bye.